Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise Awakening, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
Dust on our faces, ash on our clothes. We walked out of hunger. We followed a ghost. High in the bright sky, feather and bone. The eagle went forward. Broken step, we found how strong we are. Arm on a shoulder, voices rough but clear. Guided by the eagle, we carried each other here. Old scars were speaking, names we once cursed. Split us, we had to cross first, and to the cold road, and to a friend. Somewhere between us, the fractures would mend. Guided by the broken step, we found how strong we are. Arm on a shoulder, voices rough but clear. Guided by the eagle, we carried each other here. We left as many, we rise as one. Oh, the fire in our circle looks like the sun. We know each heartbeat, we know each face. The road made us a people, the road became our place. Guided by the eagle, home from Red River. Step, we know how
Three voices rise in the still of the night, miles apart but hearts ignite. Cards on the table, stories unfold, revealing wisdom eternally bold.
A thread unseen, it pulls us near.
The whispers loud, the message clear. The core is calling. The core is calling. Feel the glow.
Three paths merging, truths to show. From the many to the one, we find a life for the collective mind. Collective mind. Collective mind. Shuffling stars in a cosmic deck. Fate's reflection in the mirrors we check. Three hands drawing from a shared stream. Each card a puzzle piece in the dream. Through distance wide the bonds remain. One rhythm strong, one sacred chain.
The core is calling. The core is calling. Feel the glow.
Three paths merging, truths to show. From the many to the one we find a light for the collective mind.
Collective mind. Collective mind. The core is
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Core. And this is our premiere episode over on the new Embers of Light YouTube channel and Rise Radio Networks on Twitch. So excited. So excited.
It is exciting. And yes, the graphics are amazing and the songs were amazing and all this amazingness.
Yeah. It's been
I just
a
love
lot
that
of fun.
picture. We look so sweet together.
Yes, yes. That is a good picture for
That is a great
the
picture.
core.
Yeah.
So I am Micah Brindlewolf Grant, and to my left is the lovely Carrie Lunaria Lynn, and to my right is the loveliest of them all. Well,
I don't know about that. Let's not get that far.
we got Reverend Diane, RDBRC. And if this is your first time tuning in, the way that this show works is that after Diane leads us through an invocation to call in spirit, we will each present one card to begin a collective reading. Now, none of us know what each other has pulled to kick off the show. Now, we've each also pulled several other cards to continue the conversation afterwards. And usually at the end or somewhere in the middle, we say the phrase or see it in the chat, "We can't make this shit up." So there is your language warning for the show, because sometimes we do get a little bit uncensored, which that's the greatness of podcasts, is that we don't have to be censored. And we're just going to say what needs to be said. But before we do, Carrie, you look like you had to say something.
Oh, I was going to say, and by the way, for all of you that have been asking, the t-shirts, the coffee mugs, etc., with that catchphrase on it are now available in our merch store. So check it out.
Can't make this shit up. And hello, France. Hello, everyone who's on. Thank you.
I see we have a nice new crowd, a lot of new faces in there. That's amazing. Love seeing you guys. And we'll remind you again at the end of the show, but the merch site will be up soon on the Embers of Light Facebook page, which is all things Rise Radio Networks, and it will also be in the link.bio page as well. So if you are looking to get some Rise Radio merch, we'll make sure you know where to go. And not that place.
It is already on my Facebook, and it is in my link bio if you're, interested in hopping on there. But yeah, we'll get it out to the rest of the stuff.
All right. With all that said, let's get to
the invocation.
The business. Let's get to some business. As soon as I make us go away.
Hello, everyone. Let's take a deep breath in and get into a heart-centered space and allow ourselves to relax into this space and place and open up to our own divine messages. Divine Creator, we open this space in the greatest degree of love. May clarity, truth, and compassion flow through these cards, and we invite guidance that serves our highest good. We are protected in light as we listen, receive, and align with the path meant for us. And so it is. Whew, let's get started.
All right. Guidance said I'm first today. So first card that I pulled was from the Vision Quest Tarot, and it is the Spiritual Warrior. Now this guy relates to the Chariot in traditional tarot. So keeping that in mind, along with this message directly from the creator of the deck. Follow your intuition, even though you're uncertain sometimes. Focus on what is truly important now. If you want to find your spiritual direction, you can't struggle with parts of yourself. To find the whole truth, you neither torture your body nor numb your senses. The real spiritual warrior is peaceful within. He neither fights himself nor others. His ability to surrender to life and his growing faith in the power of the great mystery awakens an understanding so profound that it makes him invisible. We're going to let that sink in and see who's next. Not it. Wrong one. Go away.
Oh, well, what popped out for me was the Temperance card. There he is, holding the sun and the moon and hanging out over there. So that one is about alchemy, blending energies, harmony, moderation, masculine and feminine balance, duality, amalgamation, the fluidity of time, meditation, the perpetual motion of life, neutrality, restraint, patience, purpose. That's a lot. That's on the light side. Let's see what's on the shadow side, and then I'll read the little thing here so we can all take what we need from it. The shadow side is clashing interests, oil and water, extremes, disharmony, a need to practice moderation in some aspect of your life, severity, polarity, and impatience. Ooh, wow. Okay, so temperance is the alchemist of life, and it calls you to create your purposeful blend using moderation and patience as ingredients. Where are you focusing your precious energy right now? Maybe you've been overdoing it in your social life or binging on television, drinks, or food, or overspending. Focusing on a relationship that is depleting more energy than it is replenishing. Okay, ask yourself all those questions. Being wholly materialistic versus wholly spiritual. We live in a world of extreme passions and heated hustles. So slowing down the desire for excess in any one area of life may be harder than you think. Don't do drastic right now. Stay away from all or nothing choices. Clearing your energy of extremes will foster in a dynamic, nourishing flow that is aligned with your perfect alchemical purpose. Seek equilibrium and be mindful of your resources while fusing all the elements to achieve a beautiful balance. And the affirmation for this one is I walk the middle path and I nourish my spiritual wholeness. I'm going to say that again. I walk the middle path and I nourish my spiritual wholeness. Whew, that was a big balance message. Let's see what Carrie's got.
Well, first, let me say we all three had major arcana cards come out. So that shows that we are in the middle of a very, very significant spiritual shift in our lives. After the Chariot, which Micah had, comes the Lovers. In this card, it is the Wolf. And in this deck, it says, the fiercely loyal wolf walks through life with confidence and endurance. He brings faith and intuition in all forms of love, communication, and affection. An affectionate wolf trusts in the power of love and in the bonds of companionship. His primal howl is an expression of living life with passion and the desire for connection. He finds strength and unity while also maintaining his independence. Wolf lends his discipline and harmony in relationship building and decision making. He urges you to sing the song of your heart's essence. Tune into your inner voice for guidance. Through this, you will access the wisdom needed to make the best choices. And the Lover's card is about balance of all things. Like Rev D said, it represents harmony, balance, and love relationships. It signifies deep emotional connections, conscious choices, and the union of opposites. And that is where we will get it together. If they all come back, they're going to leave me here alone.
We're back, and I don't have to shift anything this time.
I feel like this is a year of decisions, and I feel like this entire reading is going to be about balancing so that you know which decisions to make. Let's see if I'm right.
I'm looking at the first three cards in each of my stacks, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, Diane was talking about, not trying to get everything done all at once or taking on too much all at once. And as she says that, I look down to the Ace of Earth, which is the Ace of Coins. And I know, all right, we're not even 10 minutes in. Can't make this shit up. Okay, can't make this up. And I don't know what it says for Diane, but what it says for me is, every kernel from a corn cob that you plant isn't going to grow. Everything that you attempt to do isn't going to happen. And if you try and do way too much, all too fast, all too sudden, all too soon, you take the risk of damaging the entire crop.
I'm just going to read you the affirmation from this book. I plant my goals with intention, direct focus, and faith. Which one is that one?
This is the Seven of Cups. I mean, the Seven of Pentacles. It's the investment, the harvest, the planting of those seeds.
The Nine of Pentacles, reaping what you sow. Okay.
Now remember, though, too, that reaping what you sow, you have to sow the right things in order to reap the good things. Because if you sow the shit, you're going to reap the shit.
I plant my goals with intention, direct focus, and faith. What she said.
Exactly.
Son of Earth reversed. This is the Knight of Coins. If you don't, you won't. If you think you can't, you're right.
Because you're betraying yourself.
God damn that card.
God, I hate this card. I know.
Which one is that one?
The Ten of Swords.
The Ten of
betrayal.
Swords?
If you plant the wrong seeds, you're going to betray yourself.
Yes.
This isn't just about being betrayed or being hurt by someone else. This is you doing this to yourself.
I had gotten the 7, which is
Yeah,
also
normally-
deception and betrayal.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the 7 out too. So there's so there's definitely some deception and betrayal happening that we're thinking about. And
Normally I don't drop a GD bomb, but that one took me off guard.
And also the burden. Definitely
You
the
again?
burden.
You again?
Yeah, Mr. Burdens.
So we got 7, 8, and 9.
This is the 10 of Wands, and we had the 10 of Swords. These are the burdens and the betrayals that we need to let go.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
not only those, but you need to let go of the illusion that it's somebody else. 2 of Swords reversed.
Illusions. Hidden truths. Facing your fears so that you can make that decision that he was just holding up.
I mean, you don't have to. It's a choice.
Yeah.
It's always a choice.
Well, you can be selfish, and you can take on that 5 of Swords energy, and you can think it's all about you.
Yeah.
However, where is that going to get you?
Deep diver. It's easy to play in the shallows where the waters are clear and you can see all that glitters by your feet. Anyone can venture here. There is little risk, nothing to discover, no dark secret, nothing that you can't already perceive. The treasure has long been picked away, replaced by a gentle certainty. In the shallow river is safety and no surprises.
Realizations and epiphanies. You got to dive deep for these. These don't come easy. These you got to actually be wide open and dive deep without judgment, without shame, so that you can see yourself from a new, healthier perspective. Okay? You've got to go internal. You've got to be honest. We were talking about truth and being honest with yourself, validating yourself. All the Brindle message on like all of these things are. It's got to be the deep dive so you can have these realizations.
And this one's to all the people pleasers that are depleting their energy from getting somewhere. Mother of Earth, Queen of Coins. We're calling you out again, people pleasers.
Mm-hmm.
Diane and I did a lot of that last night.
Yes, we did.
Here is your main task to get to where it is that you want to go.
Where do you want to
Validate.
go? Where are you going?
Yep. Validate yourself too.
Yes. There's got to be opportunities that arrive for you, but you got to face your fears and get away from the blockages that are stopping you. You got to be on that continuous movement, forward momentum and improvement path and going in the right direction so that you can, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read the affirmations today. I am expectant and optimistic, and I know that my dream is on the way, but not if you don't do it.
And if you say that to yourself out loud and you hear an argument in your body, switch the I am to how is it that I am? And question it. Because it starts to plant the seed to the subconscious to actually look at the ways that you can switch to being. So that when you make an affirmation, you believe it.
So two other cards came out before we started. One of them was Lighten Up.
That too.
And I feel like it's appropriate at this time because you're being asked to remember that life doesn't always have to be so serious. Yes, there are hard things happening. No, it's not always easy to be here on Earth, but you can always find time to laugh, be silly, and have fun. It's so important that you do so. Why is it important? Because it helps stabilize your emotions. It helps invite and inspire creativity, which helps exercise your neuroplasticity, which is what you need to do those deep dives, and allow yourself to feel loved by yourself in that joy. You need to lighten up. We got to play. We got to have fun. We got to enjoy ourselves.
And sometimes it just needs a healthy release.
Yeah.
I think that card was meant for Michael. Michael. Lighten up, Michael.
Here's a question. I'm going to read it. We're supposed to trust again and forgive ourselves, but how do you do that when everyone eventually ends up doing something, even unintentionally, that triggers you to retreat over and over again? Michael, we actually covered this on Phoenix Talks last night, so when you catch the replay, you'll hear that version of it, but I'm going to answer this one right now, if that's okay. Yes, we're going to get triggered. That's an inside job. The understanding of doing those deep dives and allowing that clarity to come by lightening up is recognizing that we're going to get triggered no matter what, including from healthy people who have nothing to do with our trigger. That's the key. Not every person or circumstance has something to do directly or is the actual cause of that trigger. It is time for that trigger to surface for you. They were the catalyst for triggering that surface for you to give light to illuminate and to heal and to love yourself through, so that you can recognize, oh, I'm safe with this person or circumstance. I don't have to have this response. And we start rewiring our brain with new software so that we can relax our nervous system and attract more of safety. So yeah, we're going to get triggered by everyone because our trauma is ours. They don't know. They don't have a clue that they're triggering us. If they're intentionally doing it, that's one thing. But if we're surrounding ourselves with different people, it's a matter of being consciously aware of ourselves and handling our internal stuff. That's what we're talking about. That's how we're going to get the balance that we need.
We
And
talked
that's
about
why
that.
I try. Go ahead.
We talked about that on the messengers, I believe, and last week on Illuminate, in the fact that we get when something happens to us and that we have a emotional response to that situation, and then even years later something comes up that reminds our brain of that situation in the past, and we automatically go into that space we were at all that time ago in our emotions, and we have to remember. Temperance comes to mind, which I got today too, in here somewhere. We have to remember that this situation is not that situation. You can shut those.
Use your intuition to discern. Right? That's not the same situation, as Carrie was saying. Trust yourself.
Use your intuition, your high priestess energy. Because it's not the same situation you were in.
King of Wands reversed. Enter into your own leadership. Stop being afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is upright, so.
And, you know, the fact that I have it reversed, that she has it upright, there's that struggle. And it's not just Michael in the chat. This is anybody who's experiencing that struggle. And like last night, I was telling you, I won't go into the full details, but I was telling you the difference between when you're triggered at somebody or towards somebody. And you're having that experience either because of them or because of a trigger. And also another reason why, personally, I don't promote toxic positivity. Because I know shit's going to happen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what we say, the guidance that we give, is going to feel like, oh, well, you said, no. We're fully aware that things are going to happen in your life that are going to cause triggers that are going to, and you're going to think, I've worked through this. I worked so hard. And why am I back here? Because the body recognizes the towards.
I'm going to, everything you just said, and I'm going to say, yes, radical acceptance is incredibly important. And then tie that into something that Michael followed up with. The actually waiting for somebody to see who you are is hard because it is a lonely road. And the reality is during that time period, you will absolutely be the only one doing and feeling and behaving in the way that you are. But in being that authentic, beautiful self that validates others, that tells others, I see you, that shows up lovingly, you're teaching others how to treat you by being the example. So it's lonely until others around you start picking up on it and getting it and doing it. Then you're okay.
Now I know why
Remember,
this
these are Six of Cup reversed. These are bad memories. And unfortunately, those bad memories don't just go away. Even if you're in a situation where you've forgotten something horrible from the past, the triggers are going to occur at some point. Something's going to hit you, and you're going to go, God, that reminds me so much of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that. Then that's the hard part. It's not that.
What are you focusing on?
What are you
The
stuck?
healthy's right there. The happy's right there. What are you focusing on?
You're holding on to it. With the Four of Pentacles, you are holding on to something that you need to let go.
The Four Cups, yeah. And then this is right.
I thought it was the Four of Pentacles, sorry. But yeah.
It's all good. You got to walk away from what's not working. What did you get?
This is the one that came up Tuesday for Brindle's Vision. Mindful. And it talks about groupthink. It's easy to be influenced by others right now. Especially in our digital age, it's hard to protect yourself from the energy and the amount of information bombarding you 24/7.
Yeah. As Cynthia says, hit the pause button, take a minute. Take a minute. Yep.
Justice comes.
Mm-hmm.
Justice comes. Regardless.
And you can either get lost in the spirals of the Wheel of Fortune and overthink it for four swords, four of air, or realize it's just going to happen. And you know, one of the hardest things in life to understand and appreciate is that people are going to come and go. Some are longer than others. Nothing, and this is an absolute, nothing is permanent. Not even you. Not even the sun. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary, and we have the capability, we have the opportunity to embrace that aspect, love the moments that we get as we get them. Not holding out for the end, but recognizing that one day it will, regardless of situation.
Are you expanding your consciousness? I'm going to read the affirmation. I learn and I expand my consciousness and open up to new opportunities for my life, which is going to be required in order for you to do what he just said.
Plus, Michael, I feel like you are very stuck in absolutes today. Everyone, everything, you just said they all end up walking away eventually. You are very closed off right now. I can feel it. You've closed yourself down. I mean, we're talking like you might be here, but you're too much here. And you're dealing in absolutes. And if people are walking away, were they meant to be there in the first place? You have to remember that part. Mm-hmm. Perhaps they were not supposed to be in your life. They were meant to teach you a lesson. But in taking the time to learn the lesson, don't get stuck here and don't get stuck in those absolutes. It's not everyone. It's not every situation. It's not all.
It's decisions. You
And I
have
want
to
to
make a decision in those moments. Is this, am I safe right now? Trust your
yeah.
intuition and your nervous system.
I want to share something from the chat directly on screen, but before I do, when you read it, when you hear it, I don't want you to take it for what it is. Honestly, sometimes you got to realize that Homo sapien validation is not something that you should really aim to please. Looking towards those new opportunities in life is what is essential and should be a focus on. It's very
Right.
well put, it's very accurate, and some people are going to get really pissed about that statement, and that's okay, because that means that they don't understand. And they have their own journey to do, they have their own work to do. But learning to be able to self validate first
Mm-hmm.
and not need as much
Right.
externally. This is a lifelong journey for yours truly.
Mm-hmm. And validation in a healthy way is important. We need to know that we're received well. We need to know that we're appreciated and accepted for who we are. We need to know as Homo sapiens that there's a sense of we feel belonging somewhere with some people. And that's not going to come if we don't validate ourselves and align ourselves with who we are and find our own internal path and focus on ourselves. Right? That needs to happen. Is that the Three of Cups?
Yep.
It's a
But
little blurry.
with it was the devil, which is the temptations and the addictions. You're right now. You're like addicted to being in that mindset that nothing's going to go right. Turn that over, liberate yourself, so that you can get into that Three of Cups and reach out. There are people out there. You do have places to reach out when you're feeling that way.
Mm-hmm. So, one of the deep conditioned programs of beliefs from society, religious culture, kind of all whatever things, is that we do not feel that it's okay or acceptable or palatable if we burden others with what we have internally going on. So, that being said, that's not true. What instead you're realizing maybe now is that you were seeking someone to hold space for you that did not have the capacity to hold space for themselves. So I want you to stop looking in the wrong direction and I want you to actually evaluate who has the capacity to be a container for what you have going on inside of you so that you receive the support that you actually need from individuals who have the capacity and the depth to meet you where you're at. You're deep diving. Most people are not. Find the deep divers. Like here on these shows on Rise Awakenings.
Thank you, Sparrow, for all your comments in the
Yes.
chat. I love the feedback that you're giving there. And, sometimes it's an emergency to consider.
Mm-hmm.
I really actually like to share the last thing. Too long to put on the screen, but it says, and I know that validation, which has been our theme this week, is extremely important for people. But when it is negative, you have to focus on the positive energy around you. And sometimes that's not from people, it's from things that build you, that upbuild you. And
Yeah.
there are some people that are those life sources and light. And that's what we got to look for when we really focus on the positive optimism in life. It's just, she says she's just in her feels, but we have good points. But that's the whole thing. If you're focusing on those negative and not looking for the positive, you may not find someone around you in a given circumstances that's positive, but there's something.
So, gratitude is positive optimism. That's healthy. So if it's a little blurred line sometimes, I think, and I'm just throwing this out there because I know that's the side quest that is important to this discussion. Because I know we've done shows on toxic positivity, but let me just blurb it out. You focus on the gratitude, and that's always going to be healthy because that is being grateful for what's already in your presence, whether it's how someone makes you feel, things that you have, lessons that you were able to have an understanding of. So, gratitude for self. That's your healthy stuff because it doesn't mean you're not looking at what's negative. You're seeing the negative from an observatory perspective and realizing, ooh, I don't like the way that makes me feel. And that doesn't make my nervous system and my heart feel good. So, I'm going to put that in the naughty list and not want it. Let me look over here and see what's amazing in my life and who's amazing in my life and what I've received from them that's nourished me, like you were saying, the build me ups, right? And so, just to differentiate for everybody, toxic positivity is when you're ignoring the ugly. We don't ignore the ugly, we acknowledge it for what it is and decide to focus on our heart.
If I do these exercises, if I say these affirmations, if I breathe this way, it's all just going to vanish.
Mhm.
Vanishing mirror. Do you ever wonder if your self-definition has become too rigid, too fixed around what you've come to learn so that you can contract your life into zones of safe versus unsafe? This is okay over here, but over there, well, that might be too risky.
This came out before the show also. I was wondering when it was going to be handy, and it sounds like right about now. You're being asked to stop dimming your own light. Period. It's time for you to come out of the shadows and let your authentic self soar. Fly high.
Knight of Cups reversed. What she said.
But he's also here in the upright.
Boy, we're really balanced because you're getting one of
Balance, 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 balance. Michael, I want to address something you said. Okay. He's talking about no man being an island, being lonely, reaching out to other people and finding that when you meet somebody and you think you're starting to feel safe with somebody and then things turn again. I can address that very well because I know what you're talking about. And I know you feel, okay, 36 years is a long time. Let me tell you, 60 years is even longer. When you meet someone and you finally think, oh my God, this person is so different. They're not at all like this other shit that I've been through. But then the red flags start and you go, oh, not again. Here we go again. But I can't see what it is.
The star reversed.
Well, the star is here in upright too. So,
Of course it is.
so we're just going to balance that. But let me tell you, okay, if that happens, and this is what I've learned through my experience with my last situation. Yes, it hurt. It hurt a lot because I thought I finally found what I've been searching for because it's so different. And then when things started to fall apart, I clung to it with everything I had, thinking I could make it change, I could make it stay in the good and not the bad. But what I finally realized was that was a lesson. I needed to learn to love myself first. I have to take care of me. I have to find things that make me happy in myself and not expect someone else to make me happy. No one else can bring you happiness if you're not happy within yourself. And if that keeps coming up, if that keeps happening to you, it means you haven't got there yet. You need to celebrate yourself.
You're being asked to celebrate a recent accomplishment, no matter how big or small. Do something special to commemorate that moment. You deserve that and so much more. Are you validating yourself? Are you giving yourself gratitude? Whew.
Horned cactus. bring this guy closer so he can stare at you with the papa face instead of me. When nothing seems to be happening fast enough or your ideas have dried up, you begin to question your relevance. During these periods in life, you might feel like giving up, frustrated and resentful that success will never happen for you. The issue here, however, is a matter of perception. The horned cactus thrives in the barren desertscape, offering you the gift of water when all appears to be dry. If you look at its body, you see the natural thorns that protect it from predators and the elements. What you don't see are the deep roots that extend far into the earth, filling it with a continuous flow of water. This succulent is a symbol of resilience, of resourcefulness, of your needs being met in spite of appearances to the contrary. It's a reminder of the courage and inherent wisdom needed to dig deep below the less than friendly surface that hides a rich underground world. Can you connect to this magical truth and trust? Wait. I need to do this.
Okay.
There.
Change. You're being asked to change part of yourself that no longer feels like the person you've become. Change isn't always easy, but letting go of this outdated part of yourself will allow you to align with your true self. Let it go, as came out earlier. Okay? Let go of that pain and resentment that you're holding on to. Whatever's hurting you, it's time to let it go. And letting it go doesn't mean it's forgiven and forgotten. Letting it go just means you're not letting it run your life, because you're not judging the situation anymore. Whether it's judgment of them and how they treated you, there's still that pain that you're hanging on to is creating your blockage. Free yourself.
That's
That
not just in romance what I was talking about either, Michael. You were saying I'm not even looking for that. Would just happen to be my situation, but that attitude falls into all situations, not just romantic relationships.
Mhm.
That recognizing those things is in everything, all relationships and situations.
Yeah.
Chuck it in the fuck it bucket. Exactly, Sparrow.
But we don't have to carry the sins of the fathers. Not of swords in reverse, or is that in the wands? No, it's wands.
Musical notes.
I was just getting down with that. And what'd you get, Carrie? Is that the Knight of Swords?
Knight of Wands.
You mean this one?
So I want you to take notice of the masculine and feminine differences today.
All of Michael's are in the reverse and ours are in the upright.
I want you to take note of that.
Isn't that interesting? Whew.
So the masculine is trying to get in your face, trying to get the feminine to stop feeling like I have to nurture everybody around me, I have to people please everybody around me, and it's trying to kick you in the ass saying, would you take care of yourself? Would you validate yourself? Would you please yourself? And I'm not talking in any kind of shenanigan way. I'm talking in do things that make you feel good, because you get to write your story. Page of Swords. You get to be the creator. You get to be the one that decides, this is who I am. If you don't like it, I love you. Goodbye.
Page of Swords, Page of Cups, Page of Wands. They're all here.
Now I've got a Nine of Swords upside down.
Oh God, we're in agreement. First time today we're actually in agreement. I mean, I'm just saying.
Upside down is deep anchored fears, paranoia, inability to think clearly, inner turmoil, negative self-talk, affecting self-esteem, an opportunity to actively begin the healing journey. I see my fears as the illusions they are. Can't make this shit up.
No. And please, and this, not just you, but anyone in the chat, if you are watching this show live and you feel directly called out in the chat, it's not just about you. That's why it's a collective. Because while you may be going through, other people are going through the same thing.
Expand yourself and you'll find out how not alone that you actually are. That's the second time it came out.
Cindy brought up a point that, I need to learn to put myself first, especially now that my babies are grown. And that's a big one for especially, and not just for women, but it is a little harder, I think, on women because we're typically the ones that are home doing the nurturing of the children and that kind of stuff. And when they are gone,
we don't have an identity.
You feel like you don't have an identity anymore. How long did you spend being mom? I know for me, it was, I think I had a child in my home for, I don't know how many years, because my kids are so far apart that from the time I started to the time the last one finally left, it was a good 30 years or something like, we're so spread apart. And then all of a sudden it's like, now what am I supposed to do? Nobody needs me anymore.
This came up again. Transmute that stuff, that alchemy card, and the focus on where you're going. That's what you got to do. Transmute it. Do the grief work.
Yes, and she says learning love for yourself and giving yourself the grace that you give others. Yes. And that's one of the that Queen of Cups stuff. That is something I have been stuck in my whole life. Always giving, and to everyone else. And then when no one's there, what do I do with all that giving?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Who am I supposed to pour into now? And then unfortunately, what happens with that is that's when you get in those relationships where you pour into someone else way too much to try and make up for that. And then you lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lose yourself in someone.
Do not. Okay, here we go. Because I got the Lover's card and Strength. Upside down Strength, though. And the upside down is blocked by fear, self-doubt, a reminder not to be guided by the lizard part of your brain, and a need to exercise self-control, self-destructive impulses. So there's that balance and extremes again that comes up.
Liberation from the past.
Free yourself.
Attachment to the past may be restricting growth. Allow yourself to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Always is an absolute. Always doesn't exist.
6 of Cups. Stuck in that past.
Totally. And here's the moon again, this time in reverse.
Reliance. Believing before seeing is the key to manifestation. Trust the process fully. Remember the Ace of Earth at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
You planted the seeds. Not all of them are going to grow. The ones that are the most resilient will. But you have to trust yourself. You can't control the outcome.
You can't. Bottom of the deck was the Page of Wands. I'm just going to read the affirmation. As the dreamer of my dream, I spontaneously and passionately ignite this flame.
Enthusiasm. You had the Page of Wands too, didn't you, Micah?
Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
For yourself.
I think. Pretty sure. No, I had Page of Swords.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
I had Page of Swords and Page of Wands. So
yeah. So right. There we go. And we're in 3 different states using all different decks and not talking about we're doing them live. Can't make this shit up.
Nope. But it is that time for me to start calling for final cards.
Queen of Swords. Master what's going on in your brain and get get yourself balanced mentally.
Carrie's like, oh.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. The sun. It's our happiness. When we start letting go of this shit, and we start shit, we start letting go of this shit, start taking care of ourselves. Yeah, poop. The happiness comes, wishes come true, and we gain the recognition that we've been looking for. If you're looking, this was my last card to come out, and this is the validation that we've been talking about all week, and this was my last card of the night. Validation.
Keep healing. Just keep healing.
Thank you, Sarah.
Medicine Man. The medicine man tells you that you already are what you seek. As soon as you turn your attention away from wanting to become to the awareness of what is, you get a taste of the meaning of this card. Once you focus on simply being and renounce the mind's addiction to complicate everything by thinking about it, a new understanding arises. In the immediacy of unfabricated simplicity, your greatest talents are revealed. You recognize what is true power, genuine creativity. Your growing awareness of the miraculousness of your existence gives you faith in the workings of the great mystery, and this faithfulness makes you capable of using the powers you once feared correctly. Gratefully accept the assistance that is offered to you now.
You're not alone.
Ever. What an amazing show.
Healing.
Is that what was the
May you know healing.
Healing again? Okay, we get it.
That's what we need to do.
We're all called out.
In some way, each and every time. Each and every time. Now, I love that this saves us so much time.
It does. You'll find all of us here.
All of our individual links, the Rise Radio links to listen, to tune in, the Awakenings links to listen, to tune in, listen to the podcast, and everywhere that they're posted is on this page. To work with Diane, to work with Carrie, to work with me, all of those links are also on that page, and most of the staff from Rise Radio are as well. Check it out. Scan the QR code. The Facebook page is open. It's still under a little bit of construction, but thank you for scanning that code, whoever that was. I just saw that. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's
Appreciate
cool.
that.
I didn't know you could do. I didn't know that was.
I know, looking so shiny. It's illuminated.
Ooh,
Yep,
illuminated.
Yeah, it just illuminated. Isn't that amazing? But yes, all
What
of these
an
links
amazing
are there.
chat. I love the energy of the chat and how we're all on this deep dive together. And thank you all for sharing your hearts. This is absolutely beautiful and why we're here.
Oh, and nothing better than equine therapy.
Yes.
Thank you, Lenny Bear, for sharing all of this with them as well. I miss equine therapy. It's been a long time, but I love working with horses. But anyway, amazing show, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you. And Michael, don't feel bad about being so active in the chat. This is what we need. This is why we're here.
We're here for that.
That's why we do this.
Yes.
And your comments help other people heal. And they give us an opportunity to point out things that we're experiencing too. You're not alone. Ever.
Instead of feeling bad, I'm probably not saying anything that either of them wouldn't say, but I honor your vulnerability to publicly talk about this, giving us the opportunity to share your story with somebody like Carrie said needs to hear it.
Yeah.
So thank
it's
you.
It's not easy to open up, so we appreciate that.
We need you to open up to yourself, and that's why we're here. We want you to thrive, and that's why we're here. That's exactly what all of this is about. And for anyone who ever apologizes for anything that doesn't really require apology, that is something to let go of for yourself because it's not necessary. You're only doing that because you needed to make yourself smaller. Remember that card that came out that says, don't diminish your light anymore. You're safe in this circle. You don't
For
have
real.
to dim your light and ever
Yeah.
apologize for sharing
Yeah.
your heart. It's welcome here.
Yeah, it is.
Mwah. We
Love you
all
guys.
so much.
Mean it. And Gary will be back tomorrow with this week's final episode about validation, I'm certain.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
At 11,
Probably.
at 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on Rise Radio Networks on Twitch, Embers of Light on YouTube, and Rise Awakenings on Zeno. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday, or whenever you're watching this. Be sure, if you're watching over on the YouTube, to click that like button and subscribe and help us grow our numbers so that we can see what people are liking and what they're not.
We love you all.
Love you guys so
Love
much.
yourselves. Love yourselves,
Dude.
please. And we'll see you next week.
Three voices rise in the still of the night, miles apart but hearts ignite. Cards on the table, stories unfold, revealing wisdom eternally bold.
A thread unseen, it pulls us near.
The whispers loud, the message clear. The core is calling. The core is calling.
Hey, this is Brindlewolf.
And I'm Lunaria.
You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise Awakening, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken inside. Rise Awakening, now is the time. Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.